time of the show where we talk about the big elephant in the room, the gorilla in the room, the bison in the room, whatever you call it. Or Sajid, is it, Samina and Sajid, merely an EV maker which has gone berserk?
Well, it is, yeah, it is Ola Electric that we're talking about, and what a rally. You know, this is a stock, and I think Sajid and Neeraj both would agree. During the IPO, most advisors were circumspect on this one. They all said it's a loss-making company. There's no surprises there. There's competition that's increasing in the sector. And most said that you can buy this, maybe hold it for 6 to 9 months, but it's still expensive. These are the same advisors who are perplexed, but still recommend holding on to this momentum-driven stock. Now, fundamentals we knew, nothing has changed in a fortnight, and both of you will agree, right? It's not like the world has changed for Ola. The view on Ola potentially could have changed. Is this a fundamental story, or is it sheer lack of liquidity and lack of opportunities in the market that's driving Ola high? So, Sajid, why don't you start with the con, and then, of course, I don't know whether the fundamentals are a pro or con on this one, but we'll come to you in a minute.
So I look at the Ola script from a technical point of view.
What you should also tell us what you thought about this 2 weeks ago. Huh?
Yes, you know, when I was doing the IPO order with Ola, I thought at 76 it was fairly priced. The biggest thing that happened was that the December 2023 pricing of 118, they didn't come at that price. It was a surprise when they came 25–30% lower at 76, and that was primarily because mutual funds forced their hands, saying that drop the prices, otherwise we are not subscribing. And any issue nowadays above 5,000 crores, mutual fund have a larger role to play because they subscribe nearly 30% of the issue, you know, of that issue. So they have a big role to play, especially the top 5.
They also have faith in the script, right? It's not just because it's a large script that's making into the markets, lack of opportunity, so buy it. They do believe in Ola Electric, and hence
they believe in Ola Electric, but at a price. At a price.
Correct.
Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's the reason it came at 76. When it listed, the pre-IPO pricing was at 76, and then we saw the rally happening. On first day 20%, then again at least 20% rallies.
Fortunately, the circuit has been revised to 10%.
10%. That's because of the volatility and the ASM framework which is coming into play, which is there. But if you look at Ola as a whole, nearly 16% Neeraj is the free float which is available in the market today. And after the Anchor 1 and Anchor 2 comes out of the lock-in, it will be around 25% odd. But we have seen, you know, roughly around 6,800 crores of delivery happening. That means 79% of the total free float has changed hands. And now the free float is very thin. And so that's what is driving the price up 10%. If you look at the volumes and the turnover and the delivery turnover, it's thinning. And that shows that a lot of institutions which were on the sidelines saying that, oh, the grey market is in a negative, we'll go and buy it from the secondary market, are not able to buy it. And now they have to have Ola in the portfolio. But the biggest gainer of them is SBI Magnum Mid Cap Fund. Mutual funds hold nearly 5.7% of Ola. SBI Magnum owns 1.8% of Ola.
They're still holding?
They're holding on the listing day. Now, whether they've sold it or not, I don't know. But that's the outperformer for them, for that fund. I think
the anchor investors, in which case they wouldn't
they were the anchor investors as well. But
in which case I don't think they can sell out because there will be a 1-month lock-in.
But
no, there's a 90-day total.
Would not be
but they have subscribed further, right? You know, 1.79% is a huge stake which SBI Mid Cap has done, and they're sitting on 100%.
Sajid, now let's talk looking ahead. The stock is at 96 odd. Yesterday, closer to 100.
146.
Okay, my bad. 146. So now this is even higher than that 118 price, IPO price that was set out in December. What happens, or what should investors do? Separated between a trader who bought this around the IPO for IPO day gains, maybe stayed on because the rally has been stupendous, and what does a 6-month investor do on Ola Electric? So let's give actionable to our viewers, because if you own it, you don't know what to do. If you don't own it, you still hope you can own it, right?
So, from my, Neeraj will talk on the fundamentals, but I'll talk from the trader's point of view. If you look at Ola, the first inflow of liquidity which is coming in is on September 5th, which is around 18 crores shares which are coming in.
September.
So there's still 2 weeks to go, and we're going to see some kind of price action till then.
Price action on the upside.
On the upside, because there's hardly any float which is coming in, and the price action will go up. Now, is it going to be circuits? I don't know. But point is that it is going to be there. Liquidity, people are going to hold on at least till end of August 30th, to be precise, before they make a call on whether to sell or not. Post that, there will be a downside because there is 18 crore shares coming on September 5th and another 18 crore shares coming on November 4th. When both the anchor gets, the lock-in gets over, and these 36 crore shares are going to come into the market and flood the market. So you're going to see a huge flood of shares coming into the market. Supply will come in, and that's when the price correction settle, or there will be a correction because people will. So you're going to see that in the last week of August or first few
taking money off the table.
Money off the table, and mutual funds will also start doing it because a lot of them which came into the market will do it.
So this is momentum play from the technicals of it.
Yeah.
Neeraj, no surprises. They were supposed to report a loss, a 347 crore loss versus a 267 crore loss in the same quarter, in the last quarter of the year, last year. What happens now? So fundamentals haven't changed. It was an expensive stock. I'm guessing we're betting on the outlook and future potential. Does Ola have what it takes to justify these valuations? If not today, over the course of the next couple of weeks?
A couple of weeks. I mean, a couple of weeks is
when I say in terms of pricing, if it does, of course, cool off.
Yeah, so, okay, fair call. So I want to start off with a disclaimer, of course, that learned men, right, the HSBC note, they've spent a significant amount of time researching the stock. They had a target price of 140. It's closer to that price, 146 currently. Manish Chokhani, in a recent interview, without giving a buy or a sell, you obviously won't do that, but he praised the business model that Ola seems to be embarking upon, because they also own the battery sub-stack, and therefore they own the whole stack. So in some sense, in a very long term, can Ola be a significant wealth creator? Possibly could be. But talk about the here and now, because if you are a retail investor, it's not a compulsion on you to own Ola. There are maybe 6,000 other stocks that you can own, right? So what do the fundamentals at current price say, right? So the issue with Ola pricing currently, valuations are it's trading at about 12 times EV to sales. You know, when Zomato reversed the first time, Zomato valuations were at 11 times EV to sales, and people were saying, oh my God, this is too expensive, right? And then it reversed and went down all the way from 180 or whatever to 40. I'm not saying that's what will happen to Ola, but I'm saying the valuations are expensive. The EV bike market, which they have mentioned about, right? Tremendous launch, the timing is great, but it's still nascent. I mean, they sold about 10,000 EV bikes currently versus 9.5 lakh EV scooters. So the market is still going to take some time to build out. Competition looking to remain intense. Everybody's coming in, and yesterday I saw this note this report which suggested that the cumulative market share of the new companies, Ola, Ather and some of the others, is now at 48.8 versus 59. So the incumbents are now trying to make or starting to make their presence felt. So competition, which earlier was only by the nook and corner and fringe players, is now coming in from Hero, Bajaj, TVS in particular. So that's number 3. And if there is a faster pace of launches from incumbents and from Ola and the likes, then it could put pricing under pressure as well. That's what typically happens with any consumer pocket. I mean, if SUVs were the talk of town, we're seeing the volumes and the pricing moderate now, right? That's the problem ailing M&M. Can it ail Ola Electric as well? So that's the other question that comes to mind.
And I think also with battery components, while they get into manufacturing that, it is a risky proposition because there is a risk to failure, you know.
No, let me come in on the battery part of it. Lithium prices are down 14% year on year, and I read a November note which is there, which basically means the average realization per bike for Ola is going to come down in the next 6 months, especially we are getting into a festive season. They're going to be a price cut which will come in because they're going to pass on the lithium prices. I'm not sure whether the existing players will be able to do that, because existing players are importing and then they're putting it. Ola is creating its own cell gigafactory, which is that's going to come in early next year. Yeah. So the play is about 2 years hence, not
Sajid,
not
while
in,
there could be
that.
Price competitiveness, quality and yield are also very important, which the global players may be better placed at this stage to.
Global players are hardly in India. It's in the local players we are talking about, right? Bajaj, the TVS of the world, or the Hero. hero of the world. And of course, there is a competition from them, but that competition is not significant enough.
The market share has dropped to 48.8 for the new players.
Could be.
So it is. So apparently, if that is the case, then the incumbents are now making their presence felt.
It is, but the point is at what cost? I mean, you're comparing a 29 times or 12 times EV by EBITDA of Ola with the incumbent players. Let's look at the P&L of...
No, I haven't even got to the numbers. The numbers I'm getting to now, by the way. So
Yeah.
let me just very quickly do it, right? The HSBC note, which came on Ola, mentioned that their target price implies FY28 price to sales of 2.9 times and an EV EBITDA of 39 times, right? This was at a price of 110. It's at 146 now. And the current price, guys, as per for the FY27 EV EBITDA valuations, Bajaj Auto available at 19 times, TVS available at 20 times, Ola Electric available at 41 times. I mean, it's a bike and a scooter manufacturer at the end of the day currently.
Loss making.
Battery factory jab aayegi tab aayegi. For now, you give a slight premium to the battery thing, but otherwise, double the valuations of the incumbents.
And it's not a legacy company, right? When you talk about an M&M, a Bajaj Auto, there are decades behind.
With cash flows not as
stable
attractive.
Cash flow, yeah,
so at some point of time, you got to ask whether these valuations deserve a justification or not.
Right.
Sure, it could be a great company in the future. What about now?
So I think the
Valuations
idea
expensive.
is
So the
that
question is, are you going to hold it now or are you going to
we are
sell it
holding
now?
it till the end of August, technically. Fundamentally,
I mean, fundamentals
There
don't
is no
justify
view.
the rally.
Because,
I'll
you
be
know,
very
the
honest.
same thing we told about Zomato and see the turnaround in two years'
So
time.
the
which
same
is-
thing people told about, last point here, the same thing people told about Zomato at 150 rupees
And 40
in
rupees.
2021,
Yeah.
and the stock corrected all the way to 40 before
40.
the valuations changed.
Yes.
I don't think Ola is where Zomato was at 40.
Yeah.
I think Ola is where Zomato was at 150 first.
150 first.
You know, so just the difference.
so fundamentals don't support this rally, but the fact remains fund houses are stacking up on Ola Electric. It is the sunrise sector. Everyone wants exposure and a piece of the pie. Technically, like Sajid said, there could be a good chance that you may see the rally, ebbing off towards the end of the month, but you still have a few more weeks to go for a good run. Fundamentally, nothing has changed except that the stock looks more expensive and less attractive as it did maybe a fortnight ago. The earnings still on the radar, not looking great. Valuations are very stretched, and it could be potentially losing market share to the incumbent players. So all in all, if you're a trader, you may want to hold on to this up until the end of August. If you're a fundamental investor, you may have to invest and hold it for a longer period of time. But the fact remains, long-term wealth is created when stocks are held for a long period of time.